I was promised comfort and care, and I believed it. But when I arrived, I quickly realized that reality was far from what I had imagined. Many of you may be considering this option for yourself or a loved one. Maybe you think it's the safest choice, or perhaps you've been told it will make life easier. But before you take that step, I want to share 6 things I wish someone had told me before I moved in. Life in a nursing home isn't just about convenience. It changes everything. And once you go in, leaving isn't as simple as you think. Some of these lessons may surprise you. If you know someone thinking about a nursing home, this video might be exactly what they need to hear before making a life-changing decision. Now, let's begin. Regret, #1. Losing my independence. The biggest shock after moving into a nursing home wasn't the small room, the scheduled meals, or the unfamiliar faces. It was the realization that I had lost control over my own life. Before, I decided when to wake up, eat, and spend my day. I could go for a walk, cook, or relax in my favorite chair whenever I wanted. But in the nursing home, everything followed a strict schedule that wasn't mine. Breakfast was at a set time, even if I wasn't hungry. Lights had to be turned off at a specific hour, whether I was ready for bed or not. Want to go outside? You might need permission and have to wait for someone to help. Even basic choices like what to eat or wear started to feel like privileges instead of rights. I remember my first week waking up in a bed that didn't feel like mine, reaching for my book and realizing this wasn't home. My favorite things were gone, replaced with bare walls and a bed I didn't choose. The hardest part: once you give up your independence, getting it back is nearly impossible. You stop arguing about the food, stop asking to go for walks, and slowly, you stop feeling like yourself. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the small freedoms that make life yours? Because once they're gone, you'll miss them more than you ever thought possible. Regret, #2. Feeling forgotten. One of the hardest parts of moving into a nursing home is realizing the world outside keeps going without you. At first, my family visited often. My daughter came once a week, my grandchildren on weekends. For a while, it felt like I still had a connection to my old life. But over time, the visits became less frequent. My daughter started calling instead of coming, and my grandchildren got busy. Holidays were the worst. Plans would change last minute, and suddenly I was sitting alone, watching other residents stare at the door, hoping someone would visit. It wasn't that my family stopped loving me. Life just got in the way. When you're not around every day, people assume you're fine. I remember sitting in my room one night, holding my phone, debating whether to call my son. I didn't want to be a burden, so I put the phone down. That's when it hit me. This was my life now. Watching the days go by, hoping to be remembered. If you're thinking about a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared for the loneliness? Because no matter how much your family loves you, once you're out of sight, you can easily become out of mind. Regret, #3. Losing my sense of purpose. I thought moving into a nursing home just meant changing where I lived. I didn't realize it also meant losing my sense of purpose. At home, I had routines and hobbies. Even small tasks, like watering plants or making coffee, gave me a reason to start the day. But in the nursing home, those tasks disappeared. Meals were prepared for me. Cleaning was done by staff, and there was nothing for me to take care of. At first, I thought it would be nice to finally relax. No more chores, no more responsibilities, just rest. But soon, I realized something was missing. My days felt empty. I saw it in others, too. People who once had energy now just sat, staring, waiting for time to pass. My neighbor George, a carpenter his whole life, used to build small projects at home. Here, he had no tools, nothing to create. One day he told me, I feel useless, and I knew exactly what he meant. When you stop having something to care for, life starts to feel meaningless. If you're thinking about a nursing home, ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? Because once you move in, finding purpose isn't as simple as just filling your time. It's about fighting to hold on to what makes you feel alive. Regret #4. Declining health faster than expected. Before moving in, I was doing well for my age. I wasn't running marathons, but I could take care of myself, cook, and go for walks. I had routines that kept me moving. But after moving in, everything changed. Meals were brought to me, so I didn't stand in the kitchen anymore. I could call for help instead of getting up myself. Over time, I moved less, and my muscles weakened. I noticed it in others, too. People who walked in on their own soon needed walkers or wheelchairs. If you stop using your body, you start losing it. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, will you stay motivated to keep moving when everything is designed to make life easy? Because once you slow down, getting back up isn't as simple as you think. Regret #5. Losing privacy and dignity. At home, I had my own space. I could close my door, be alone when I wanted, and do things my way. In a nursing home, privacy is a luxury. Staff come in and out, and you rarely get time alone. Even simple things like getting dressed or using the bathroom often require help. No matter how much you try to make your room feel like home, it's never truly yours. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the privacy and control you've had your entire life? Because once it's gone, it's hard to get back. Regret #6. Realizing it's harder to leave than you think. When I moved in, I thought it was temporary. I believed if I didn't like it, I could just leave. But I didn't realize how hard it would be to get out. My home sat empty, and my kids started making changes, selling things, considering renting it out. If you're considering a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared for the possibility that leaving might not be as easy as you think? Because once you settle in, getting out can be much harder than you expect. Final thoughts. Looking back, I don't regret aging, but I do regret believing a nursing home was my only option. Before making a decision, think carefully about what you're giving up. Your independence is worth holding on to for as long as possible.